guys. Welcome to the Fish Outta Water Podcast, episode 1.
Episode 1.
I'm Ian Mullins.
I'm Noah Collins.
Yeah. Honestly, all this podcast is really going to be is more of a slice of life, what's going on in not only our lives, but our country and our world.
Yeah, just living it, just getting out there. We're going to have some special guests sometimes. Like this episode, we have a wonderful Abram Johnson.
Introduce yourself.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
What up?
We're just going to be discussing life and the meaning of existence, just
In this episode.
In this episode specifically. So, life, what's up with that?
What is that? Sometimes, if I want to be honest with y'all, death is kind of scary.
I'm
For
not
real.
scared of death at all.
It's imagining it.
Death as a concept is just a construct that the human mind perceives. We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything.
But I do have, sometimes I will have a mini existential crisis,
I have no fear of death whatsoever. If I died right now, I'd be content with it. But I'm not suicidal. Like, if I
Sounds like someone's coming out here.
It kind of sounds like you're a little wacko, man.
No, listen.
It sounds like you're like
You want to talk about it?
I live a very happy life.
Yeah.
But if I died, I'd die and I wouldn't know that I was dead. So it doesn't really matter.
Well, just thinking about death in general, like, what would happen,
I'm not afraid of like what happens after death, but I'm afraid like my death's gonna be like long and drawn out and very painful. That scares me.
Are you not afraid of like dying alone? Like, what if you have no legacy? Then what's the point in your entire life?
Doesn't
that validate your meaning?
It's like, it's not that for me. It's more like, it's just dying in general. It's not that I care about bringing down a good legacy. Like, not that I want to be remembered. It's just death in general. It's a scary thing to think about.
I guess you're right.
It's like, just knowing, like, what happens, what is that, like, falter from life to death, that little gateway.
Yeah. Well, doesn't that make you think, you're like...
there is faith.
Yeah. But,
faith is built on that of faith. Like, it's something you have to think to believe in.
Sure.
It's built on faith. Faith is, believing that possibly there is something after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a question, just like a random question that kind of pertains to the topic. Do you ever think about how your mind works?
Yeah. I'm taking a psychology class right now, and it's just kind of crazy seeing how, a lot of your basic functions, basic ways you think is just biological. You really don't control
Yeah, exactly. Like that too. But like also, how does your brain even work? Like whatever you're thinking, you're seeing in your head, right? You know what you're trying to see.
Yeah.
But if somebody were to take your thoughts, like a picture inside of your head, and put it out on a screen, would it look the same as what you're thinking?
Well, let's just say you're born blind, deaf, and mute. What language do you think?
What are you exactly? Can you even think?
Yeah. What do dogs think in? When a dog is hungry, what do they think? How do they think that? They can't think. I want food because they don't know language.
I think they just inherently know. Like
it's more of like instinct,
Yeah.
It's an instinctual thing. You're born with it.
Well, therefore, do you think that anything us humans do is instinctual? Do you think our greediness and our power hungriness is instinctual?
I don't think it's instinctual.
I don't know. Because, there's different levels to it. Some people are naturally greedier than others.
It's not an innate behavior. Like, it's learned.
Agreeable.
I don't know.
Because if you come up with in a society where everyone's equal, and, like, that's a basic understanding, which is not, like, it wouldn't happen. But if everybody understands, like, everybody's equal and everybody's together, and you're raised on that, then more than likely, eventually somebody's going to turn. But that's because they learn that they want more.
It's strange. It's strange. It's very mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that made any sense, but I tried.
Grabbing a little sip,
Yeah. Got you.
Also, I saw a thing. I don't know how, like, credible it is. I don't remember where I saw that. But it was... the fact that blind people and like deaf people and stuff, they have like facial expressions too, like their behavior and their facial expressions like match up, and they don't have to like see somebody else's facial expressions to learn
to know
like,
the facial expression.
Yeah, so that was like an innate behavior. Like you don't learn it.
Maybe natural feelings is just like that, instinct to do or to show that emotion is just that of an instinct. It's not a learned thing.
Well, being a human in general, isn't that just like an objective thing, What says we're any different than, the things that have crawled on this earth before us,
We have... Going in.
Now you go.
I was going to say, like, we barely scratched the surface of stuff we know. Like, we only have...
Oh, there's way more.
Like, for colors, for example, we only have 3 color receptors, but, like, some seahorses, they have, like, 18. So they can see, like, a billion other things than we can.
And you don't even think about that. Like, you can't even comprehend, like, another letter or, like, another, like, color or, like, another, like, like, feeling or another dimension. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to
The thing,
even realize.
Like, with dogs, they're... I don't know how they're colorblind with dogs work, but they don't think, like, oh, yeah, I don't see this other color, because, A, they don't have that much of an understanding of stuff. So there's probably a bunch of stuff that we don't think about, but, it probably doesn't affect us that much if we don't think about it. Huh?
You know what else is kind of scary?
What?
One day our sun is just going to explode.
That doesn't scare me that much. It's weird to think about that
we'll
one
be gone,
day.
But
It's, obviously there's many, 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 many years after that'll happen. We will obviously be, our family names probably be gone. We'll be gone. There is no doubt in my mind that Earth will be destroyed before the sun goes up. Something will happen. Easily.
Understandable.
I have no worries about that.
The Andromeda Galaxy speeding towards us at the speed of a bullet.
Did you see that? What was it? It was it was a video that showed, like, what it would look like many years down the line, like right now if it was closer.
Yeah.
Man, it makes me wish that was, closer now. Because imagine looking at the night sky and seeing that.
I mean, have you ever thought about all the things you'd miss out on in history, that's going to happen in the future?
Yeah, what we're going to miss out on.
Yeah. Or what we did, what we already have missed out on.
Yeah.
That isn't much. Like, I don't think about that too much.
When I think about it, I do feel kind of jealous.
Yeah, I mean, how cool would it be to be a, crusader or something? Dude, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
maybe not a crusader, but you know what I mean.
Taking back the Holy Land.
Maybe not.
You know what's very scary to think about?
What?
There's like approximately like 3,000 active nuclear warheads on Earth, and like if somebody can just send them off, like we just have to take the wrong guy off eventually, and we could all die.
I hate to say this, but some nations just seem naturally stupid.
Like, we're pretty lucky here.
Iran.
Yeah.
Very.
We're lucky where we live because there's nothing around us that really matters. So if anything's going to get nuked, more than likely it's not going to be us.
We would still die. Easily.
Oh, yeah. Nuclear explosion. Yeah. You're dead.
We'd go in through a nuclear winter.
Well, yeah. But it wouldn't be like immediate, like melted our faces off to death.
Yeah. We turn into ghouls, whatever.
We would have the effects of everything else too, and it would still screw us.
Our death would be a lot more painful than that of, let's say, theoretically North Korea bombs California, which obviously isn't going to happen, but we would face nuclear fallout because we would do something in retaliation easily.
Yeah.
We aren't going to let that happen.
Fallout, you can avoid that. I mean,
a nuclear fallout.
Not exactly. Like, underground bunker. You make that.
I mean,
we wouldn't be able to. We're not privileged enough.
Yeah.
To go into it. Like, that's the elite. The elite of the elite.
That's the enclave.
I don't know if I would even want to live in an underground shelter. Like
it depends. If we're talking like, is this going to be like, is this straight up Fallout, or is this going to be like this is like harsh, cruel reality?
Is this going to be a large vault?
It's more than likely going to be like a couple room thing with probably a bucket as a bathroom.
If it can like withstand a society, and like the place in general has like, I wouldn't say an economy, but like it's like feasible
community.
Yeah, it's like a good community, not like just like a family of 2 or 3.
Agreeable.
Well, okay. So more than likely, if there's a bunker or something along those lines, it wouldn't be very, very big. Like, it wouldn't be like to an extent to where it would have a bunch of people.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like an underground society thing.
Because if somebody's gonna make if the rich are gonna like protect people, they're just gonna think about the people they love. More than likely, there could be a good one, but more than likely they're just gonna protect people they love.
think about all the things that, you know, we take for granted in our modern society. You know, we live in a society.
We live in a society.
That we do. As the Joker movie has shown us. We live in a society.
Have you guys seen that movie, by the way?
Yeah. I have not. I heard it's amazing.
Really?
I have to.
It is pretty good.
I need to watch it.
I honestly think Joaquin Phoenix does a better Joker than Heath does.
Man,
that's a rough topic. That's too offensive.
You guys seen Her?
Yes. That was a good movie too. I like that movie.
Oh, Her was so good.
Yes.
I highly recommend.
You look at Joaquin Phoenix in that movie, and you look at Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, and it is not the same person.
It is not the same person. He is such a versatile actor.
What's the movie he did about, he plays Johnny Cash?
Oh,
is it Walk the Line?
Walk the Line.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
That's a good movie too.
Very good movie. He makes an amazing Johnny Cash.
Is that his singing in it? Is he like?
Yeah, he actually sings in it.
That is very. He's
really good.
He is crazy good. I know.
Crazy good.
Spotify actually has.
I've gotten into
that whole
Johnny
song
Cash.
album. What?
I've gotten into Johnny Cash like a lot lately. Like Ring of Fire.
That
like
movie.
Watching good songs.
That movie is very good.
I walk the line. It's great.
I love Joaquin Phoenix. He might be my favorite rising actor right now.
He's a rising actor. He's pretty famous.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, thanks to Joker, he's
but thanks to Joker, he's really made a climb.
Yeah.
But movies like Her and Walk the Line. Yeah. I don't know.
What do you guys think about people who definitely shouldn't be on politics, getting into it, and then making you feel bad for your opinions?
Well,
you've never seen that? Okay, so the very ignorant actors and stuff who just because they're famous or whatever get in.
You mean
sway your opinion?
Don't call it brainwashing, but let's say I like someone so much I want to be more like them. Therefore, I share their beliefs.
And they'll try their best to get you to hold the same opinion to the point where they'll shame you for having your the other opinion.
You mean the BTS girl effect?
Yeah.
The what now?
The BTS girl effect.
If you're dumb enough to actually do that, I don't know. I have no hope for you.
Honestly, I don't think you have a place in society for that, though.
Well, you don't deserve one.
Exactly.
People are stupid.
If you can't follow your own path.
People are very ignorant, and they shouldn't be.
They
shouldn't be ignorant.
They don't have an
Do you think
excuse
that's the fault of the government or societal constructs?
I think it's their own fault.
Government. No.
They have the opportunity.
Well, okay. It's
never
never just someone's own fault. No one is born ignorant.
No.
I mean, of course you're born ignorant. No one's born stupid. Is I guess what I should
Nowadays,
say.
just about everybody has the ability to go into stuff and do what they like and actually learn a few things.
Who teaches a child laziness? Their parents?
Yes.
Or is it something else? Is it the education system, or is it taught later on in life? Is it taught through the government?
I think it comes a little bit from everything.
No.
Well, you can say that about everything. You can't just say, "Oh, this is generally from everything." There's always a root to something.
Yes.
So what's the start of this? And what's the cause of this great societal problem?
I think it's the fact that we're more reliant now on people doing stuff for us. We're not
technology.
Yeah, not just that, just other people doing stuff for us. Nobody wants to go out and do their own things now. They want to have stuff right there done for them, delivered to them. Don't have to worry about it, and they can just be lazy. They have the opportunity to be lazy, so they are lazy.
Well, I mean, you also have to acknowledge the great things that convenience technology has brought us. I mean, Amazon is the greatest thing of all time.
Do you know they have I'm pretty sure. I don't remember where I heard this at. But shock bracelets or something like that. I'm gonna Google it real quick. And I'm pretty sure they said they were developing them or something. And if the employee got off on the wrong track or something, it'd shock them back or something.
That's kind of dystopian. That's kind of like an Orson Welles thing. Kind of freaks me out.
Oh, hold up. Amazon.
That is that's no bueno.
Yeah, it sounds like a Soylent Green.
Why would you agree to work in an environment like that?
If workers... Okay, this is the New York Times, so... It says, if workers slack off, the wristband will know, and Amazon has a patent for it. let's see. I'm gonna just get to the part where it like talks about it. You guys can keep on talking while I'm looking for this.
You know, so what's your opinion on like just I don't know. Tell me about some fishing you've done lately.
Fishing?
Yeah, just fishing, man. Just something, fishing. Fishing, yeah. Been fishing lately?
I have not been fishing lately.
I don't think I've been fishing the last 6 years of my life.
Dude. Last time I fished was probably at summer camp. And it wasn't like an actual fishing rod. It was a, like, not a stick, but like maybe this like small, like thin silicone, like just like silicone tube that had, you know, fishing wire like kind of strapped to it with a hook on the end, like, and you didn't cast it. You just kind of dropped it in the water.
Mm-hmm.
But me, being the professional fisherman I am, caught me a big old bass. Big old bass.
You know, I went to the beach one time with my mother, and we went fishing on the pier there, and you could buy, you know, like shrimp and stuff to, you know, put on the end of your hook, and caught a couple crabs and cooking them up. It was pretty weird.
I like that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool dudes. They just kind of like climbed onto the hook and just stayed there while I caught them.
It's kind of, they accepted it.
Yeah, I think they were pretty down, and it was
dumb creatures, crabs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. I think I found it. It says here, Amazon's proposed technology would emit ultrasonic sound pulses and radio transmissions to track where an employee's hands were in relation to inventory bins and provide like feedback and steer the worker towards the correct bins.
Okay, so is it a literal shock? Like,
so no, I think it's more like one of those like shock pains that just vibrate really quick.
Okay.
It's not gonna like electrocute somebody.
Well, duh, I'd hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. You know, you don't want like this isn't like a dog collar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, what if it gets to the point though where like they just control what you do? You know, like once you go into work, whatever you do is what they want you to do, and there's no like.
Got another guest entering the room. Brantley Johnson, brother of Abram.
Nice to meet you.
This is. So what's going on, everybody?
How's everybody's night?
Oh my goodness.
We're recording the podcast.
I know. I'm talking to the podcast listeners.
So let's continue with our topic we were talking about.
It was the shock bracelets, right?
Oh yeah,
Well,
the
okay,
dystopian outlook of the.
I feel
shock
like
bracelets.
something like that would lead to like, you know, a big escalation. You know.
Of what?
Well, okay. So if you're going to, you know, if you're going to do this and it actually, you know, works, like profits go up in Amazon, if that's the company that's doing it, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course they're going to find, you know,
Other
alternate
things,
ways
yeah.
of it, like exceeding this, because this is the first time they're doing it.
Yeah, you're gonna nurture something that works and just keep it going.
Yeah.
And
once it hits that, you know, fine line of right and wrong, which I'd say a lot would argue that what they're doing right now is wrong, but once it hits that line, something really, you know, has to be done.
I don't think the way I read it, I don't believe that they've made them yet, but they have a patent on it, and like it could be in development. I think.
I mean, if it works, it works, and they'll do it if it works.
And once $1 billion, like a multi-billion-dollar company starts doing it, everybody else is gonna want to start doing it.
Old
too.
Bezos puts it in tuition.
Yeah, like if they can do it, they probably will do it.
Strange.
Yeah.
And we live in a weird place.
It's getting weirder.
It is getting weirder. Hey, you got any other cool topics to, you know, extend on?
I'm blanking. Not gonna lie.
You know, Noah?
Yeah.
You know what I really enjoy?
What do you enjoy?
I enjoy talking about space.
Space. Oh man, space is so cool. Aliens
Literally,
and stuff?
that is besides horror stories, that is the second best
Ooh,
thing.
that's our next topic, horror stories.
Horror stories.
Space
I mean,
is scary, dude.
So space. Aliens, opinions?
There's,
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Most definitely.
I mean, do you think like our galaxy, or are you
No.
thinking?
I mean,
like,
don't, maybe like vast quadrants of our galaxy. There's some
Okay.
other, form of life.
That's agreeable.
Very.
You guys got any opinions?
What about aliens?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of the theory of aliens?
Yeah.
I think that
Look.
statistically, like,
There has to be something.
like eventually something has to happen.
In our Milky, like in the Milky
Well,
Way, maybe not. Maybe. Like possibly. But
I
in
wouldn't
our
say so.
universe, in the observable universe, there's most definitely some we will never be able to interact with them. Ever.
More than definitely not.
Well,
But they
most
probably
of
won't know about us either.
No.
From a religious standpoint, I don't think there is any intelligent life.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, by aliens, we mean just any life form in general, not
Yeah.
on the planet Earth.
Like any habitable life. Like, I'm not saying there's another
Like,
race of
maybe
humans out there on
some
the planet.
cells in like an oceanous, maybe snowy ice planet in the far reaches of somewhere else. But I definitely think. What is it? What moon is it? Titan? Is it?
For what?
That's where Thanos lives.
Nah, it's not Titan. I forgot. What was the moon that was said to possibly have, some cell life on it? And it's like, cold oceans.
I got no clue. Mars used to have water on it.
Yeah, Mars used to have water on it. There's this old video on YouTube, and this is off topic, but there's this old video on YouTube, and it's so dumb, but it's like an hour long. It's so dumb, but it's so interesting. That talks about like life. There was life on Mars, okay, and it talks about how this life was abusing Mars's like, what was it, like planetal powers, okay, and like it like killed the planet, and they took a portal to Earth. And then they split, I don't know if they split, but at Earth there was like two societies living on Earth, okay? One was at Atlantis, and the other was just some other place. And then these Martians came and like terrorized them, and then some other stuff happened, and like Egyptian gods came out of nowhere and messed stuff up, and it was probably like the funniest but also like most interesting video I ever watched.
Was it like dead serious? Like they believed that?
Pretty sure it was dead serious.
That's scary.
That
That
is-
someone would believe that, honestly.
I don't know, it was well made, so I might believe
It
it.
was well made.
No, what do you think?
About that? Well, it's obviously fake.
Yeah. I mean, come on, there's no why intercept. Miss all taught us that.
There's no y-intercept.
Oh, man. So, horror stories.
Horror stories. Like, in general,
I
or...
mean, in general, come on, give us some.
Like air horror stories or just
I
scary
can
stories?
go with one. It's driving home from Prestonsburg one night. It's pretty late. It's about 9:30. For some context, it's about 45 minutes away from my home. So I'm in the home stretch, coming around this curve, and as I come around, I'm sure everybody knows the horde skinwalkers.
Uh-huh.
Half man, half beastly beast. And it was this creature with the hind legs of a human, and the rest of the body was that of a large black wolf. It was too large to be a wolf or a coyote, but too small to be a bear. It also had a very sickly body, like very slender, very bony, kind of greasy jet black hair with some bloody black teeth. That's
Bloody black teeth.
my only experience in anything paranormal.
I have a couple good stories.
I got one, but I'll let Ian tell his first.
Ooh. I may last a second. I mean, I could also tell some of my father's stories, but...
Give me your best story.
My best stories? Not
Yeah,
all of
let's
them. I mean, I have one that lasted most of my time living in Manchester.
You lived in Manchester?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I lived in Manchester until maybe my fourth grade. I was maybe 12, 11.
You were
But yeah.
12 in 4th grade.
I don't know. Wait, let me think.
I'm 14 now, Ian. I'm a freshman. I would be 12 in 7th grade.
There was no way I was 9. But you just young. But yeah, whole time living there. I mean, the house we lived in, no one else would live there. But I digress. Because while living there, like, a lot of strange things happen, but, like, okay, for example, like, in the house, people would call for us, like, anyone would call for someone, like, let's say I'm in, like, the living room, and my dad's calling from some other room. So I go to my dad and I say, hey, what do you want? And he says, I didn't say anything. And then, vice versa with everyone else in the family. But, like, the strangest thing is when everyone's asleep, out of the corner of my eye, I'd always feel like this, like, girl that was about almost my height, and I was short, obviously, I was young. Lasted, like, and, as I grew, she grew. But, like, let's say she had, like, a white dress, black hair, maybe a white dress, I can't remember, like, specifics, but she also, her hair went, I didn't know her face, her hair went, like the Grudge Girl. Basically like the Grudge Girl, except, cleaner. Not all, nasty looking. Speaking of that Grudge movie coming out. But, yeah, always at the corner of my eye. Never anywhere else. Corner of my eye. Even if the last one, it wasn't just some, like, dark thing. And I'm not,
dark thing.
I'm not, like, being into the darkness, seeing things because, you're tired or something. But, no matter what, I'd always just see her at the corner of my eye. And it was always when my parents were asleep. Sometimes it even happened when I was home alone. Like, not even at night. But, like...
That's kind of horrifying.
But, like, that's the thing. What's horrifying is I thought that was just, like, me being sleepy. Well, like, now that I think about it, the same thing, singing the same thing over and over again. Every night, every, like, lonely morning. It makes no sense to me how it could be, like, my brain playing a trick on me. Why the same thing over and over again? And, like, when I moved, I realized, hey, that's actually kind of strange. And, like, it's what, like, I don't know if this happens to anyone else. Obviously, probably not, but, like, while sleeping in my own bed, always waking up at maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, like 3:01, 3:02. Feeling like hands coming up from your bed, like your actual mattress, feeling like something's pushing on it. It's kind of strange. Makes you think hey, I don't think I'm playing a trick on myself.
I haven't had that, but I've experienced a lot of times waking up around like 3 or 4 in the morning and feeling like someone's watching me sleep.
And like, it happens.
I hate that. It's almost like
awful.
I can't fall asleep, but I also like don't want to turn around and look at my room.
Oh yeah, happens.
Because I know there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But what if there was?
The current house I'm living in, I feel is haunted as well.
I have like one scary story that's pretty good to tell.
Okay, let's hear it.
We used to stay up at like my friend's house all the time. And one morning it was just me and him when we were walking through the house trying to like go get us breakfast or something. And me and him were the only ones in the house. Like everyone else was asleep or something like that. So we were talking and we just went silent for a minute. We were walking and we heard a little girl and she started just like talking. Like it sounded like she said like mommy, like clear as day heard it. If it was just me, I would have wrote it off as like I'm just tired, I'm just hearing stuff.
Yeah.
But when he turned around and looked at me like, did you hear that too? Like, that's when it like shook me up a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we didn't even talk about it, which is the weird part. Like, we just wrote it off like it never happened. Mm-hmm. And then about a month later, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, we were talking to his mom one night. And we were just telling scary stories, and I brought that up. And she had told me about how when they first moved into that house, they had heard a little girl like crying on the front porch, like one of the first nights they moved in. And she had never told us that story before, and we also heard a different girl. I believe. And on like very different occasions, they've all heard like the little girl, and it scared me to death. Yeah, I heard it. It was weird. No, you got any good ones?
No.
Was that
You got any good story?
any stories? I don't know. I got a lot, man. Really, just give me some ideas. Just what some
ideas. Well, I've never had like, obviously other than like something calling for me, imagining it's my dad or my mom. I never had anything like that happen to me. Like on that kind of level.
Who turned that light on?
Would have been me.
What was that?
Because it's getting late. I don't want to fall asleep.
Understandable.
Are we just gonna call it quits right now?
I think this is a good first episode. It's about half an hour long, I believe.
All right. Well,
thanks everybody for tuning in to the Fish Outta Water Podcast.
It's been fun.
It's been fun, and we'll be seeing you next week.
Abram, thank you for joining us, by the way.
Thank you, Abram. And I just want to say a nice warm goodbye from me, Noah, and my co-host,
Ian Mullins.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.